I'm talking relationships, worth more than money. No time for the fake or the phony. Tweezy dropped the gym, it's so evident. Link up with the gang. I'm talking relationships, worth more than.
All right. What's today? Monday?
Yeah.
Finally here.
I know,
Yes.
right? The weather
Finally
was
here.
disrespectful.
Yeah, it was. When you said it was hailing, I'm like, what?
And we were on our way to you. It was like, what in the world? It just started hailing.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
What kind of, like, what size of the hail?
No, it just started coming down, but and then it started coming out more hard. I was like, I don't know.
Concerned about.
Yeah, y'all are north too, so a lot of times y'all gonna get a lot more than what we get down here. But anyways, we back at Relationships Worth More Than Money podcast. I am Tweezy. Who do I have to the right of me, you lovely ladies?
I'm Raquel.
Raquel.
Alma.
And
We are the Fisher Girls.
okay. Let's get a little closer.
Okay, sorry.
So I known you through my brother, Esquire. Y'all say Terrence.
Yeah.
But when I heard y'all, create the song that y'all had together and he produced it, I'm like, man, I gotta get to know these ladies. Who are these beautiful women? And so I always kept in like contact, like, following y'all and seeing what y'all had going on. Just for a brief, like, just give us a background of who y'all are, the Fisher Girls, but y'all sisters together, everything. Just go ahead and give me the rundown.
All right. So, yeah. I started in elementary school. We both started in elementary school.
Yeah.
And I believe when I was like 8, I received the water baptism and spirit baptism and the Holy Ghost. And with Apostolic Church, you don't participate like in things with like singing on the choir and stuff like that until you get the Holy Ghost and stuff. So I started there also.
Okay.
And so we've been singing since we were children and professionally since 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, so school choir first. And then when we got to high school, we were like, we don't want to do, we were singing so much as kids.
Yeah.
We didn't want to sing in high school. But God started to handle writing in 2015 when we lost our mom. So that's how God started blessing us. And then we didn't start professionally until 2019.
So singing, is it like a generational thing? Like it's always been like, it runs in the family or do y'all just the first ones from the family that started singing?
Well, actually, it's on our father's side.
Okay.
Our dad could really sing. And our uncles could sing. And
so our father and our uncles, not sure if it's further back than that, definitely our dad. We know we get it from our dad's side.
They said we never met her. Our grandmother could sing. Our mother could. And some of our cousins could sing. It's on our father's side.
Okay. All right. So in 2015, you said you guys lost your mom?
Yeah.
And that's when y'all took it professional?
Well, I could write songs when I was a kid, like 10, maybe. Yeah, like 10, 9 or 10.
Yeah.
But I stopped writing it. So when we lost our mother, God started to, instruct me to write again. And then God dealt with Alma.
Yes. So I before my mom passed, I would get like little glimpses of like witty things. I would see that sometimes, but I didn't fully know what it was. But when she passed, that's when the gift of writing rose up, and I started writing poetry.
Wow.
And I didn't know. And the way that I learned was I wrote something. My instructor in college, she told me to write something mimicking Oscar Wilde. So I just thought I was mimicking him, and she was like, "This is really, this is great. Have you heard of this artist?" And I'm like, "Oh." So I didn't know it was a gift, but then that encouraged me to write, and then I wrote some books of poetry after that.
Yeah.
And that was my next question too, far as like, what was y'all like writing process? Like, how did that? Because you said you started at a young age. Like, even me, I look back at me like trying to rewrite raps and stuff like that, and trying to rewrite like R&B songs like the old Ushers and stuff. And to me, I'm like, man, how do you do it? But is it from poetry? Does poetry help?
Well, some people says it starts as poetry. In me writing poetry first, I guess that's how I write. I write from poetry. Okay. I write in rhythm a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I write in rhythm. So
For me, when I was a child, it was really easy, but because like I took it for granted when God told me to start writing again in 2015, I wasn't obedient to 2016. Like I remember the month January, like beginning of the year, I started writing. He made me work for it, so I had to like relearn how to write songs. Like, well, Attention is my first song. God bless us to release, but it's such a wordy song.
Yeah.
So like the other songs are we're detailed, but it's not as wordy.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to really learn how to write songs. But when I was a child, I could just, it's like that now and again.
Yeah.
But God, I had to like earn it.
Now, you ladies are from Baltimore, right?
Yes.
Did y'all go to school in Baltimore County or Baltimore City?
We're from the city, so we
From
went
the
to
city?
school in the city.
Okay. All
I
right.
went to Morgan. It was a great experience. Then I had to stop.
Did you study at Morgan?
Music.
Did you?
And I also did musical theater. I played Silly and
Color Purple?
yeah, it was a great, and I did
Hey!
a couple of leads in the choir, so it was a really great experience.
That's dope. That's dope. So you went to Morgan, and the music just stayed with you,
Mhm.
and you just kept going, kept going. Talk to me about like the upbringing, like how you guys was brought up in Baltimore. Because I'm from Detroit, so like I said,
Hey.
Baltimore reminds me of back home. It's like the west side of Detroit or the east side, depending on what part you at.
We were born and raised in the city, but our mother, she didn't play with us. She kept us in the house.
Right.
So we actually lived in the middle of the projects, but we were in the house.
Mhm.
Like she didn't play with us. She really protected us. So it was like we were in that environment, but we weren't in it.
Right.
So Raquel and I, we were very sheltered, but we hated it at the time, but then we realized later that it was actually good for us.
Yeah.
Is
And
it,
then
what part of Baltimore? East, west?
East,
Okay.
but end up, valuing it and grown. We're like, oh, okay, I'm glad this one we wasn't outside.
Yeah.
But as children, like we couldn't do a whole lot. Like we used to cry, we wanted to go outside and
Right.
stuff. And I was like, Mom, why is she so strict? But I'm really grateful for, her being protective of us. But as
Yes.
children, we hated it.
Do y'all have any more siblings?
Yes.
No.
Mhm.
How many more?
We have more.
One more. We lost
One
two,
more.
but we have one.
No, listen.
Thank
So
you.
you got, is it brother, sister?
A brother,
Yeah.
our brother
Older,
Dwayne.
younger?
Yeah, our brother Dwayne Fisher. We
Yeah.
love him. Thank God for
Does
him.
he
Yeah.
sing too?
No, he can write. His children can sing. Some of them can play instruments and sing. And I think most of them they can write, or either they have some type of
Acting. It's like
some type of
gumbo.
gift.
Something in that area,
Yes,
in that realm.
yes.
That's dope. I think I feel like when you are in that realm of music, theater, band, what else? Acting, it's all like a stepping building block to where you're trying to go, and it's just a great scene just to see it, like when you come from a kid, and it's like me for playing in a band, and then it's like now I'm a producer, now I'm an engineer.
Wow. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I let it go, just like you said. Like high school came, I didn't want to be a band geek.
Yeah.
So it was like, nah, I just want to play sport. But I regret that because I would have learned so many more instruments. Because I was a drummer, I knew my rudiments, but it was like, when I talked to S, I'm like, S, how you do this? How you do that? And he was like, man, I kind of like trained myself. I don't even know how to play the piano for real. Like, but he trained himself. And like when we collab on a lot of our beats, I always like, hey man, play the lead on this, play this, play that. I like the way, because it's his feel and what he hears is like our ears are so gifted.
Yeah, that's God. That's a gift.
That's a gift. You know what I mean? When I look at that, it's like, man, like you can create music like that. And I'm just like, this is crazy. But for acting, I think to me, theater is it's kind of like the you should do theater before you become like a full-fledged actor. You know how some people, you know what I'm saying? Some people just be actors, and you like,
I don't think you should.
You don't know nothing about the theater of it. And I went to performing arts school, and we used to do the Wiz a lot every year. And sometimes we'll be the musical. We were the musical for most of it, And I was like, man, I wanna act. I wanna do this because my boy Big John, shout out to him. He was like the lion cursed the lion or whatever. So it was like, all my friends was the lead characters or whatever. And but yeah, theater, music, anything of that art form, I feel like is super dope. Now, you ladies just released a single on Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. What was the name of that single?
I Can Go Home.
I Can Go Home. Did you both write it or?
Yeah.
So how does that process works with like siblings writing for the writing for the songs? Y'all write all your songs together or do anybody take a lead or?
Well, now we do like the ideas can come to her first, depending, and then I'll add to it, or the idea can come to me, then she'll add to it. Like I Can Go Home, we heard a track like a sample track or something, and God only gave me the hook, so I started singing. I can go home, I can go. I started singing it, and then my niece Aaliyah was like, "Wait, you just came up with that?" And I was like, "But God only gave me the hook." Right. But then me and Alma, when we went home, we came up with the verse.
Do you feel creating the hook or the chorus first helps you more than creating a verse, or vice versa?
It depends. It depends because before I used to then write the hook first. Before I used to write the verse first. So I guess whatever God is leading me. But I do like when the hook is the foundation of the hook is there. You can write around it. You can build from the hook. So I do like that part.
Yeah.
And also like trying to discover what the hook should be because Full Attention, I was writing my thoughts. I just was writing how I was feeling, and it was pages.
Yeah.
And I remember telling Alma and my older sister, Christina, who we lost, during the time I was saying, I don't know what to call it. And Tina was so comical, like, girl, she was just like, Tina's very funny. And I was like, well, you'll figure it out. But then I was reading it, and then I was like, oh, Full Attention.
Is that the one y'all did with Esquire, with Terrence?
No, we that's on our EP for Tunes that you hear in the Valley.
Yes, Full Attention was on the EP. The one with Terrence was Narrow Way.
Okay.
We did that one later, but
Narrow Way was the one with Terrence.
Narrow Way.
Yeah. Yes. And what does that mean?
Narrow.
Narrow Way.
Yes.
My bad. Y'all got y'all Baltimore
accent. No, that was
goodness.
You that time.
I'm like, who? Narrow Way.
No, narrow.
Yeah. So the process, y'all take turns, and sometimes, you come up with it, and then sometimes you come up with the hook. Like, but me personally, I think the hook is like what leads the song, but it helps you write around it. And that's the thing. So I can't just go out and just write a song. When I'm riding sometimes, I'm listening to my beats, or I'm listening to Esquire or my boy Swim, somebody's beats, it's coming in my head, like I can hear certain things, but it's not coming full. So then sometimes I might just record it.
Me too.
You know what I mean? I might just record the parts that I hear, and then I'd be like, yo, what you think about this? Or even go in there and just lay it down and, see what I can get from it. But I think that's great to have not only a sibling doing it with you, but it's another creative, you know what I mean, that can unlock something else from you. How does that work, sister-wise? Like, y'all get into it a lot?
Not as far as songs, actually, though. Of course, siblings argue.
Yeah.
But
who the oldest?
Alma. Only a year and some months. We're very close in age.
Yeah.
But as far as songs, I feel like we know what part we play. Like, and that makes sense. Like, and we can write independently. Like, Alma will write, and then I'll write, and then we'll come together, and we will decide which makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not like, I think God would never like that. Like, oh no, my part need to be in here. No. It's whatever is best for the song. Right. We're not like big on like, it has to be like this, or I'm writing this. No, we really don't care. It's just whatever verse is best, or fits the rhythm of the song, or we take out ads. It's just But I like right with my sister. It's fun.
Me too. And it's like our creative juices get to flowing more. We bounce off each other, and like with this last song, it was just like. She said something, I said something, I said something, she said something. It was just going together. I'm like, oh my gosh. And, it really worked out. And our whole idea was just really to connect with people, to let people know that they can go home, they can go they turn away from Christ, they can go to Christ, so that's the goal. So it wasn't about like what I think is best, what she think, it's about the ultimate goal.
But I'm glad it's actually, now that you said that, I'm glad it's actually never like that.
Yep.
Like we're never like, Alma wrote a song, and as singers, when you're gifted, you can tell when a song is original if you hear somebody sing it.
Right.
So it sounded really good. And I walked in the house, I said, Alma, that sounds good. You wrote it? And she wrote it. So then I end up writing the hook.
Was it that?
What song was it?
Well, she wrote a verse. I wrote the hook. But see, the hooks used to come to me first.
Mhm.
So when you were saying, like, that's how they used to come to me, but now it's both ways.
Okay.
So, I can write verses, but at first it was just like, I want to get a hook. And then we would build from there. But you would write the verse.
Yeah, because verses used to come. Hooks come too, but I can, God bless me, I can do either or. I can write the verse and then I'll write the hook, or I can write the hook and then I'll look at the hook and I'll think about the hook and then I'll write the verses around the hook.
Yeah, so it's fun. It's fun. But I forget which one that was. I think it was
Baby,
Don't You? Yes, and she wrote the second verse and you added to the hook, I think.
Yeah, it was Don't You and Baby Baby.
Yep. Don't You and Let You Go.
So how does did y'all always start writing gospel, or was it like R&B? Did y'all ever dive into R&B or anything? It's just always been gospel. Okay, I'm just asking because sometimes like some people do come from you know what I mean, and I'm learning too because like I just got baptized last October.
Oh, congratulations!
So, thank you. And like I went to church yesterday at First Baptist of Glenarden, and like the production that I always see, like it's every week is somebody different. So this week it was the kids remix, they call it remix.
Oh,
so on Sundays they all the kids do everything. They the ushers, they everything. Like
what'd you call it?
The ushers. They're not ushers. The ushers.
Okay.
So even like the announcements, all the kids do everything.
Good.
So the choir. Yeah, so
is
like
it like the youth Sunday?
Yeah, like the youth Sunday.
Yeah,
we just call it Remix Sunday. Remix Sunday. So like every Sunday is something different. Like next week might be young adults. The week after that might be men's. You know what I mean? So it's just
stuff like that.
So it keeps it fresh. And seeing that, do y'all like perform at different churches?
Yeah.
Like in the area, or where because I know y'all say I was going to Atlanta.
Yeah, we actually just performed at
that Hope Center.
Yeah, on Valentine's Day, the same day we released I Can Go Home.
And did y'all sing it there?
Yes.
How many songs did y'all sing?
We only did 2. We did Full Attention because we wanted to have it geared to Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
So Full Attention is about, being distracted with the cares of the world and around the wrong people. Now God, rededicating our lives back to God. So he has our full attention, and I could go home. It's just like, a safety net in God. So we didn't want to, even though it was still church, we didn't want it to be like too,
churchy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you mean, because I like growing up as a kid, Second Evergreen Missionary Baptist Church, my mom used to always have us go, and I'm like, man, it's churchy. Like you know what I mean? It's pews.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's old school. Like so I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? And it's funny because I start singing those songs in my head or just being silly like I'm always am. And I'm just singing those old school songs. But I get it. Like nowadays, it's good to have both.
Yes. Yeah, you need variety.
And that's what we love.
Yeah.
It's both.
Yeah, it's good to have both because, the youth, I feel like they can't relate to those older songs. I mean, they can.
Because some of them songs are so oily, like you can sing them today and you still feel the presence of God.
Yeah.
So they're still needed, but we need to have a balance. Like
have a balance. How do y'all feel about that? Like, do you when y'all come into your creative minds to create an album or an EP, do y'all feel like y'all want to do like let's mix it up, do churchy, or what do y'all consider yourself as far as gospel? Because so many genres. You know what I mean? What genre would y'all put yourself in?
I call ourselves a gumbo.
Because so we must be like, I guess, contemporary because it's not like we do have like a range. You know how this song is definitely different from other songs.
It's more CCM.
Yep.
And our other songs are jazzy or storytelling. So like we're versatile.
Okay. Do y'all want to work, or do y'all work with other artists, gospel artists?
It depends. We want to be compatible. It's not necessarily matter about if you can really sing, but more so compatibility. You know.
Okay. We talked about the single. Y'all got some upcoming shows.
Yes.
Which and is it this week coming up, or
It's
the 25th?
next week. Yeah.
Is it the 25th?
Yeah, the 25th.
CIAA, right?
Yeah, the 25th and the 26th. Is at the CFGRN? Yes.
How did that come about?
God. Ran into somebody. She found out that made my music. They referred us to them. Then they reached out to us, and that's just how that happened. But it really wasn't planned.
Right.
And God just blessed us with favor, and we're very honored, because they don't have to book you. They don't have to, I think that people think that people should do stuff for you, No, people don't have to do anything.
They don't.
Yeah, so we're really honored. We're going to perform multiple times there, too. So, that's
the whole weekend, right?
I think they're having a whole weekend, but we're performing 2 days in a row.
Pretty much the whole weekend.
Yeah, so we're honored.
Yes, it's really it's a huge blessing. We realize, sometimes people will get stuff and they don't realize. I'm like, I take it for granted.
Yeah.
What do you have, like a manager or
we have
publicist?
Me and Alma does a lot of our own bookings, but we are working with someone. But in terms of like booking stuff, is me and my sister. We do the booking.
So y'all like independent.
Yeah, but we do have like we do have management. We do have like a team of network. We network with people, but in terms of like booking, me and my sister we book our own stuff.
Okay, all right, cool. Now with the bookings and everything, how is it on the gospel side of? Because I know it's drama. It gotta be. You know what I mean? It's drama everywhere, right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because I'm not. I'm just trying to be straight up, like, because people want to know, like, because even me, like, I'm new into like understanding. You know what I mean? How the gospel works as far as like gospel music and just the church, like, the things that go on in the church. Like, is it always like, not always, but do y'all come across like barricades that somebody might like try to stop you from doing something, or they're like gatekeeping? Because it's a lot of gatekeeping on the R&B hip hop side.
I think it's in the industry in general. Yeah. I would say like years ago, it was like a while ago, where we might have like some type of disagreement with somebody. You can just tell you had disagreement, and the person might have said something that wasn't proper, but the other person realized, like, they watched us like, oh, there's no validity in what they said, and they just disregard what was said. So sometimes you have stuff like that, but that's in anywhere you go. You could be at work, and y'all could just have a disagreement, and y'all may just not be mashing well, and a person can say something about you, but if a person have good common sense for themselves and they start God, they can examine like, okay, that's your personal feelings. That's not what's actually going on.
Okay. Because I'm very observant of certain things. Like, one thing about me, I just sit back and watch how things go before I like making a comment or anything. That's why I always ask. You don't know if you don't ask. And I see things and I'm like, why they doing that? Or why they acting like that? Or but to each his own. So now that y'all said, it's everywhere.
Yeah, I thought it was. I don't think you can avoid it. I like anywhere you go.
Yeah. Why do you think that is, though?
People.
Yes, wanting to protect what they have. I think intimidation is it's lots of things. It's lots of things.
Well, I just wish people realize that if God decides to put you in a space that even if I didn't care for you, I can remove whatever God has for you. And people need to take themselves out the equation and stop thinking that they can hold stuff hostage.
Yeah.
No, if that arena belongs to that person and you're there, if you don't move on your own, God will cause something to make you move. Like God sets people up in high positions.
Right.
So like I think people in their pride and thinking they can stay here, do that. I'd rather leave instead of be moved by God. So.
Feel you on that. There are people like, so, you know, I used to think as a kid, you know, when you're a pastor, like that's just it. Like that's all you do. You know, like that's how he puts food on the table.
Mm-hmm.
For artists, you know, what do you do on the side, or not even the side? Like, what is your main thing that, like, your job or, you know, occupation that you do?
Well, we both work in law. So
y'all lawyers?
No,
no lawyers.
I'm about to say,
criminal justice.
Yeah, we're both in the same field.
Mm-hmm.
How y'all end up in that?
I ended up in that, like, forget how many years now, but I've been in it ever since.
Yeah, and I went to school for criminal justice too, so I guess it just naturally fit. I also went to school for music, and I went to school for criminal justice.
Okay, all right. And how do you like it? Because some people, you know, they just be working just to work instead of just like, you know, loving to work.
It's not bad. I mean, I'm accustomed to the field, so it's easy for me, but it's not my main job. Like music is our main job, but you do need money to support what you're doing.
Some fun, whatever you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah. Kids?
No, not physically, no.
No kids?
But
not physically, but basically,
we take care of our nieces.
Okay.
And
through
our
those kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I call my aunt. My aunt's like my mom. You know what I mean? Like, you know how family is.
Yeah.
You know, even though you got a mom, you still got your aunts. Them the ones you hang out with because they super cool. And,
right.
You know.
Yeah, they're spoiled. CJ, Ariel, Aaliyah.
CJ was the one who was in on the FaceTime.
Oh, no, that's our nephew, John. We love him so much.
Yes,
Yes, John.
Yeah.
Is he the oldest?
He's not.
The
He's
nephew,
not.
the nieces and nephews?
No.
He's not the oldest.
Oh, my brother and his wife have a kid, has a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Dwayne and kid, yeah.
But he isn't the oldest. Our sister that passed, her daughter is the oldest.
Okay.
So her daughter is the oldest, and then we have the nieces and nephews from there.
Okay.
So
yeah, and that's
That's dope. That's dope. Dope auntie that sing. Do you teach them how to sing?
We be trying.
Yeah.
No, but we can tell that they have some skill there, but they just have to start singing more, and they have to, come out of that shell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I took choir in senior year. That was it.
But you can sing, can't you?
It was an easy A. No, I can't sing.
You can?
I can hold a note.
Oh, okay, but you can produce.
Yeah, I produce. I can tell you how to sing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey,
just because your keys and stuff, so
right.
the gifting,
right. Yeah. I'm like, hey, no, that's not it. Sing it like this.
Because the way you process it, first, I think that's so neat.
Yeah, it's and I look at it and I'm like, man, how did people be like, yo, how do you do that? And I'm like,
that's a gift.
I'm like, I don't know, but not. It's a gift because it's like I give it back to like my grandfather. You know, he played records. Like that's why I got a record player. You know what I mean? Like he played records every day. You know what I mean? Every day. Then my dad, my uncles, it was always a musical.
So your family.
Yeah, my dad played the saxophone.
Oh, yeah. I love the sax.
Yeah, my brother played the saxophone. I played the drums. But like my grandfather, just them oldie, the goodie records, like he played, you know, and I would listen. Even when you didn't want to listen, it was like
because they was playing every day.
So loud, like my grandfather would be in the basement, and I'd be on it like upstairs, like, and you hear all those songs, and I'm like, man. But and I think that's what helps with me. It's like I can't sing. I think if I wanted to like go to get vocal coaching,
it would be easy for you. I think
it'd be easy because I mean I had to do it in choir.
Yeah, and then
like every morning.
Yeah, but you process it while you play and stuff.
Yeah, I definitely do. who do you work with as far as production and outside of Terrence? Like, do y'all have like a set producer?
Well, like Terrence was like the main producer, and we just worked with someone recently named Rick. Can't think his last name. Lisa Givers. He did an excellent job on "I Can Go Home," and Garrett, who we always work with, he
Shout out
helped.
to GDA.
Yeah, we love Garrett.
Yeah, Garrett dope.
He's fam now. We've been with him since 2020, and me and my sister didn't realize it. Like, it's been 5 years now with him.
Yeah.
But yeah, this time he helped produce the record, so that was pretty cool. And yeah, so we normally select people who will properly interpret what we're trying to convey. Yeah. Because because a lot of people that do know us, our sound doesn't match our personality to a certain extent. Mm-hmm. So sometimes a person will still try to interpret what we're trying to convey versus our personality. That's not the sound that we want. Mm-hmm. So, like...
Right, they'll get it mixed up with our personalities. Like, they're looking like... Because people think maybe we would have a traditional sound versus it's like eclectic, It's not... It's not,
But we have that in us as well. But if we're giving you something, I don't care how skillful you are, just respect what we're trying to give you. Right. And don't deviate. Don't do your interpretation. So I think what we really like about Terrence is that even though he's accomplished a whole lot, he wasn't acting like that. He was very humble.
Super humble.
And he sent us multiple versions of Narrow Way so we could be happy.
And it was a build-up. It was a build-up because initially he was like trying to see how he wanted to make sure he was kind of playing it safe. And then he expanded as he was like, we said, you had to tell him, be yourself.
He said, him on the track. You gotta give me permission? He was like, all right. And then he just went, and then we was like, this the track.
Yeah. yeah. That's him. He shout out to Esquire. I love my bro.
Yeah, we love Esquire.
He's always like that. Even when we was in the studio, he just listens. And I mean, I remember us working with Carrie Gordy, and he had this beautiful singer, Ayla. I still keep in contact with her today. I think she's 18 now, but she was like 14 or 15 when we was with her at the studio, and we was just like bugs on the wall, just listening to everything that Carrie Gordy, that's Barry Gordy's son.
Yeah.
Listen to everything that he's like doing, how he's recording her, how he wants it. And he's very meticulous.
Oh, he learned from his dad.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, this is why. And me being from Detroit, Motown's right there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so this how it was going on. And I know for sure that helped him later on, like how to work with people. But he's always been humble. Always. He don't brag. He don't.
Yeah, but
he just work.
I feel like normally people that are sure of themselves doesn't feel the need to brag.
Yeah. No need.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I don't have to show you.
Because you know.
You can just look it up.
Or because I feel like you know.
Yeah. And that's another thing too, is I think I ain't gonna say it's a Virgo thing, we both Virgos. But I just think it's more of a you can say like military.
Yeah, background.
You know what I mean? It's because like we know what we can do. Mm-hmm. It's only for you to see it. You know what I mean? I can show you better than I can tell you, but we know like who we are. It's just like let us. You know what I mean? Right. Let's try to figure out. Like we always trying to come to a solution because you don't have people that have problems. Mm-hmm. Everybody come to you with problems. Never no solution. Mm-hmm. So when you have solutions, you know what I mean, and you can come up with how to fix it together. It's always going to be, the end goal for us is like, how can we make this song better? What can I do to fix it? Less is more. What you want me to take out? What you want? And I think working with artists like y'all is definitely a plus because a lot of times people don't let us be us.
Really?
Oh, man. Yeah, it's been, I want it like this. I want it like this. You know what? And that was another thing for me, like working with gospel artists, and it was she was, I guess, getting into like gospel rap.
Oh, okay.
And that's a whole nother thing, you know what I mean? Because it's like they're trying to rap the word, which they are, but they're trying to use the same
method as
beats as rap, like hip hop.
Okay.
So it's nothing wrong with it because I like me, 1K, you know about 1K Few?
Yeah,
he's super dope.
He is super
and
dope.
you know his production is around my area. Like I do that a lot. So this girl I was working with, one of my friends had hit me up and said, hey, I got a girl that wants to rap. She has the song already. She just wants to remade. So I listened to the song. It was Glorilla beat. So that's why she wanted it remade, but she wanted me to remake it just like that. And I'm like,
that's stealing. You can't do that.
I'm like, I can't. She's like, so I made what I thought she would like. She's like, I don't know about that. Made another one. Sent her, like Esquire, sent her another version. And it got to the point where I was doing all of this and she hasn't even came to the studio. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, and she didn't pay for it. My friend, the one that recommended me her, paid for it for her. Like as a gift, like if you want to do this, like if you want to do this music, I know somebody that can really help you with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And she was just like, Then her mom got involved, was like, well, you know, she wants it like this and she wants it like that. And I'm just like.
But she wasn't trying to like she was talking like kind of like the round, using it as a reference, right?
No, when she sent me the rough, it was the F&F beat, the song that everybody know Glorilla from. And she was rapping gospel to it. And I'm like, you can't rap over that. Like, you can't put that out.
So she don't understand it.
Right. So I was trying to explain it to her and her mom, you know, and I'm okay with, like, I'm very patient with people. So I'm like, I'm explaining it to her. And I was like, here go a beat that can, in that realm of it, but it's not that. Like,
you can, you know what I mean? You can do the realm of it, change it, but not straight take the exact same thing. You got to get someone else to do it. It got to be something different. It can, but not what she was doing. She was taking the exact same thing. You got to change it.
And I was like, you can't. I said, the only way, you can rap off that beat, but you can't put it out. You can't put it out and try to publish it and have it out on a streaming platform.
Yeah, because the thing is, you'll get away with it if it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, nobody knows.
But let that really fly. Yeah. She gonna want her money.
And that's what they do. They wait for it to take off. If they see it on the radar, they literally will just sit there and wait and see if it's going to take off.
And then sue you.
Or if they just tired of you, they'll just send a cease and desist. Like, hey, you need to take that down now. Or we going to come after you. So, yeah, that's why, you know, I was asking, like, how is it, like, working with other producers and, you know, artists? Because I know sometimes it can be a little shaky.
I think that's right now. It's just me and my sister. Where we do want to implement more people, but we just need to make sure. I think sometimes a small circle is best.
Yeah.
Because God been blessing us with the little people that we've been utilizing. So, eventually, we do want to work with more people, but it just has to be the right fit. We like peace.
Yes.
Gotta protect the peace. Now, Alma, I heard you were a published author.
Yes.
Talk to me about it.
I have a book. It's a poetry spoken word. Was the first book, and Hills and Valleys and the Spiritual Warfare in Between is the second. So the first book is a book of poetry. The second is a book of poetry / devotional. So it's about stuff that I went through in my life, mistakes and errors that I made, and hopes to encourage somebody else, you know, to come to Christ or in their Christian walk. That's my hope. That's my goal. Okay. Because then I'm being really transparent in the books, very transparent. You know, some scars I didn't want to reveal, but people need to be helped. Know that you haven't always been where you are. You know, currently. Right. You know, it's a process. Have a past. You know, everybody has a past. Sometimes we want people to think that we just literally just always been a certain way.
I don't like that.
But that's not true. That's not real. And people need help. And I still need help. And we still need help. So
that's a fact. That's a super fact. But what started you to what made you want to start writing? No, go ahead.
The young lady that was at our church, she asked me, she's like, I want you to write a book of poetry. I'm like, huh? Okay. But God gave me faith a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
I may not, He gave me faith a certain way. So I would be like, okay, even if I'm not sure, I would go after it. Mm-hmm. So, he's like, go ahead, start writing some book. And publishing everything is, and then the second one is in like major stores. Walmart is published, like worldwide. So
wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm so proud of my sister.
The second book was what was the second book?
Hills and Valleys and the Spiritual Warfare in Between.
Hills and Valleys and the Spiritual Warfare in Between.
Yes, it's in Barnes and Noble.
So is it on like Audible?
No.
You gotta get it.
No, we have to, but we have another one coming too. I have it's like more expanded, the first book. So it's going to be have devotion in there also. So that's coming, and that will be on. It's going to be. I want to say, I think it may be audio. I make sure, but it definitely is going to be on the internet.
Yeah, I love.
It's audio.
I love audiobooks. I'm Think Like a Man, Think and Grow Rich, Richest Man in Babylon. I just got done with what was it? Wallow book I just downloaded. Mm-hmm. So like when I'm out, when I'm driving,
yeah,
I love listening to the audiobooks. Even home, like I just turn it on, just listen. And I think that's the books to me. It reached me more because I hear that person's voice or the person that's reenacting that person.
Help you to connect.
Yeah, it helps me connect because when I'm just reading, I'm like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, all right.
It can be boring. Something I think because we're artists, something needs to excite me.
Right.
I need to feel like I'm going on a roller coaster.
Yeah, and the inflection of their voice, sometimes like they get
that
low.
Helps.
Like, oh, Eric Thomas, You. Oh my God, that book, like. I listened to that book and the way his inflection.
He knows to keep people attention.
He knows how to come low. He knows how to go high. He knows how to stay in the mid. And he even talks about it. Like, this is the reason why I did it. And he's from Detroit. And learning that he was a pastor, a minister. And, he called himself the hip hop preacher now. So it definitely is super dope to learn, like, the things that you owe yourself. So yeah, Audibles always get me. I can go through books like how somebody can read books. I go through an Audible like that.
Mm-hmm. Like, that's that music in you too.
Yeah, and you can fast forward the voice a little bit. So instead of having them talk in a normal slow voice, I can speed it up to like I put it at 1.5. So then I speaking a little faster, you know what I mean? Instead of them just, this and that, and you got to worry about this, you got to look at. No, I'd be like, hey, it's I'm like, yeah.
I like to read fast.
Yeah,
so I feel you. I like to read fast.
Yeah, so it catches on. It catches. Keeps me going, and it's always like self reliance, self direction, something to do. What's next for y'all?
Well, we're performing at the Baltimore Arena for the CIAA next week. Wow, that's quick. And we're also performing in April.
Because I was like 2 weeks ago when y'all told me.
Yeah.
Where y'all performing in April at?
PA, I can't think of the exact address.
Pennsylvania, right? I can't think of the city right now, but Pennsylvania. So it's going to be a concert.
So we're going to, it's just us, we're featured on the concert. Mm-hmm. So we're honored. They found us on the internet. Mm-hmm. Reach out to us. So we've never been there. So we're honored to celebrate. Yeah. It's really exciting to go to different churches and experience different cultures and experience different ways that people praise God.
Yeah, because it's different denominations, right?
Yes.
That's dope. Which ones have you been to so far?
Well, Hope Center was
non-denomination.
Yeah, the one in April I can't think of.
Is it Methodist?
No, it's Christian, but yeah,
we have to look at it
to
make sure. But
and then we performed at a wedding, and it was really pretty neat because they had communion at the wedding.
Wow.
Yeah, it was so backstory. I have other different degrees or different things, and I wanted to be a part of learn more about medicine and stuff and do stuff in the medical field.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in school for that. And before I took my test, as singers or anything that you're gifted in, you utilize it to process stress.
Right.
So I was about to take a test and I started singing, but I was singing to calm me down. And my teacher heard it and she said, "Oh, you have a beautiful voice." So she wanted me and my sister to sing my graduation. So in doing so, the staff members found out we could sing. He found out our music. So we ended up singing at his wedding.
Wow.
And
from the school.
Yes. So
wow.
He's Black, his wife is white. And to see the blended family was so beautiful.
Yeah.
And as singers, if you can sing, you don't need music to sing.
Right.
So we were singing without music, and the acoustic, it was beautiful. It was so unique. I really loved the experience. Mm-hmm. And this was our first time seeing someone taking communion at a wedding.
That's the first time I ever heard of it, too.
So it was really great. And also as singers, it's like, if you can really sing, you really don't need music. You don't need anything if you can sing.
Right.
So we were just singing out music, and they were like really impressed and really pleased, and they wanted us to sing more songs. Like, no, they only asked us to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They told us later, one of the family members, she was really impressed. Mm-hmm. She was saying she wanted us to sing more.
Yeah.
So, do y'all charge?
Yes.
For the...
Absolutely.
I'm just asking, some people might be a love offering. I don't know.
Even if you do, so for instance, when I would do concerts at my church, my sister would help me, and some other people in our church would help, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being an artist, I probably wouldn't tell them I was going to give them money, but when they came there, I was like, "Thank you," and I would put money in their hand. They were like, "Oh, I'm surprised." No, like, you don't have to come here and do this. You don't have to do that.
Right.
And I value the gift that you have. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to sit there and not pay you.
Right.
So I think that people should consider, you asked me to come, so you should think of me. You should consider that you need me. You asked us, right? Mm-hmm. So show love. You can give something.
Yeah, I totally agree. A love offering, something.
Something, to show that you appreciate.
Something, because sometimes I'll be like,
and you have to tell people no sometimes.
Yeah. All right, now it's time to get...
I love it.
Yeah. We got all the good ones out the way. I'm about to give you one of the best ones. Question. What is your top... not even going to say top 3. Your favorite Bible verse?
I love... I have a lot of... I used to read Revelations a lot. But I love Psalms 1.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I have a couple. Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and the power of his might. And it is Psalm 119, I think 135. Great peace have they which love thy law, and nothing shall offend them. So just, goals, like being strong in the Lord, constantly serving the Lord and serving the Lord continually. That's a part of being strong in the Lord. But the great peace of they which love thy law, that's, that's not allowing anything to bother you, not allowing anything to, offend you and get in your spirit. So that's, that's
Psalms 119.
Yes. And that's, So that's one of mine, because it's like a goal, to make sure that nothing is bothering us. Things happen in life and we're not always like, so we just have to,
You're absolutely right.
I like the book of Nahum in Old Testament because no one really reads from it. And it describes, and I'm paraphrasing because I want to take from the Bible, but it describes the clouds or the dust of God's feet. And I just think that's so unique because clouds are beautiful.
Yeah.
So, that's the dust of God's feet?
Yeah.
That's serious.
I have to check that one out.
Yeah. It's spelled, Nahum is Nahum. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. I believe it's I want to say the first chapter and the third verse.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll text it to you. But it just tripped me out. And then you don't really hear people referencing it. I'm like,
it's always New Testament.
No, that's the Old Testament.
That's what I'm saying. It's always New Testament that you hear about. It's normally nobody really talks about the Old Testament like they used to.
They need to.
Yeah, and I'm learning that too. Mine is Ecclesiastes 3.
Amen.
Yeah. Yep. Seasons It's a time for everything.
That's all. Well, the Bible is relevant anyway, but that's always relevant.
Yeah, because I was in boot camp, and I tell the story all the time. In order for us to get away from the drill instructors, it was on Sundays. So that's when I started going to church. I'm serious.
It helped you.
I started going to church. I needed at least a few hours just to get up, man, because they was always on us. And you know, the Marine Corps boot camp is 3 months. Everybody else is 2 months, 1 month.
But y'all need that.
Yeah, so like, I'm like, yo, I'm going to church on Sundays. And that's when I found out, because they was like, man, why don't you just go to church? You want to get away from the drill store to go to church? Like, for real? Go to church. And you know, it was a Protestant church, and went, and I was listening. Like, I wasn't just there just chilling. You know what I mean? I was really like listening to what he was saying, and he was like, Ecclesiastes 3. Everything happens for a reason. There's a season for everything. You know what I mean? It's a time for peace. It's a time for war. It's a time to laugh. It's a time to cry. Like, you know, paraphrasing too, because it's a lot.
Yeah, and I don't want to misquote it.
Yeah, I don't want to misquote it, but all of that is in there.
Yeah.
So I got it tattooed on me, and because I really felt everything. Like, it's a time for everything. And you know what I mean? I feel like right now, what we're going through right now, it's just a season.
Yeah.
You know?
It is.
It's a season. And what seasons? They change all the time.
Yeah.
So I look at it like that, like whatever's going on in this world right now, it'll pass. You know what I mean? And it helped me understand me too, going to Iraq. Like, it's a time for peace, it's a time for war.
Yeah, you experienced a lot.
I went to Iraq twice, so it helped. And I think that, me personally, I think that's what helped me get through everything. You know what I mean?
Build you up.
Yeah, so I always look at that, and I tell people, like, Ecclesiastes 3. You know what I mean? And they be like, well,
That's serious.
what are you talking about? I'm like, go look at it. Just go look at it and see what I'm talking about. And when they look at it, I'm like, dang, you're right. It is. Like, you know what I mean? And it's it helped me understand, like, God didn't. Everybody wants, like, you're great to have peace, but sometimes we have to go fight those battles against the enemy that's doing devilish things, or, you know what I mean? Things of that nature. But you also have to understand, is these people really bad? Are they bad? You know what I mean? Yeah. Are they bad, or is it somebody's agenda to make them look bad? You know what I mean?
And then you fighting that agenda. That's the thing.
Yeah. So when you start looking deeper into certain things, like, man, some of these people, it's beautiful people in Iraq. You know what I mean? And we giving up toys, playing soccer with kids, giving them different things. And, you know, it's like, dang, like, well, that was me living like that. Like, you know what I mean? They don't even have traffic lights. So just imagine how many cars be in accidents.
A lot. I don't have traffic lights.
They don't have traffic lights.
So who decides when to stop? Somebody just be like, you go, I go, we like.
If they speeding like they speed over there. Like, it's no speed limit.
Oh my! So it's no order.
It's nothing. That's what I'm saying. It's really structure. It's a third world country. There's no structure at all. Like, there's no speed limits. It's no traffic lights.
I'm sorry.
They barely have street lights.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So but the houses is crazy. The houses are beautiful. Like, you know, they like clay on the outside, but they're beautiful. We've been inside the houses, and that's when we learned, like, you know, the Arabic, Islamic people, they don't wear their hair down till they inside their own house. Only time you see a woman's hair down.
Wow.
You know, but they have furniture, but their furniture is like lower to the ground. And you know what I mean? They have the same, you know, same stuff as us.
It's just their custom is different.
Yeah, it's just different. And seeing that, I'm just like, yo, these people in the middle of something, they ain't got no, it's not even like, you know what I'm saying?
That's the unfortunate
part. It's in the middle of like some
war.
BS, you know what I mean? And it's like, this is how they live.
And then you have to do what you're told, because you're.
Yeah, and you know what I mean? Like, it's rules of engagement and things of that nature. And we never did anything cruel to the people.
Oh, that's good. That's
you know
good.
what I mean? We respected the people, but if you were on our list as a suspect,
then you're on the list.
We got to snatch you up. if we get you, we got to snatch you up. That was the goal, to snatch you up and detain you and bring you back and question you and stuff like that. But it ain't always go that way, So, yeah, it's just seeing that, like, I always give a story, like, we used to drive on the trucks, because that was my job. I drove the trucks. We used to drive the trucks, and, you see a herder and her sheep, walking all the time. And one time, they purposely strapped a bomb to the sheep because they knew we would stop. And they strapped the bomb in the sheep, and it blew up one of the trucks in the front. It wasn't us. It was another.
You had to kill the
unit.
sheep, though. That was
wicked.
wicked.
But yeah, so they were. That's how I learned. Like, you always respect your enemy, because you never know the capabilities of what they can do.
And that's wisdom. When you're talking, and you are trained, and you talking sense.
Yeah, so you have to respect, like, everybody. That's why I give people respect until it's shown otherwise. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, let me move on. Get out the way. Yeah.
It's funny that you're saying that, because I used to work in a criminally insane jail, and I know I was graced for it, but at the time I didn't realize it. I didn't think it was a big deal. My pastor was like, "You're not afraid," but I know I was graced for it, and they had a lot of respect for me. Like, I didn't fear them. Like, they had a lot of respect for me, but I knew it was God.
Because if you show fear,
that's
when they.
But I think they respect it. Like, so people like, oh, they crazy. They're not that crazy.
No.
They know if you're a good person. They know if you're evil.
Right.
They still have some sense there.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't mean. I wasn't disrespecting them. I wasn't talking to them like they were beneath me.
Yeah, and that's the main thing right there. I feel like people automatically put people on different levels.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here with you. I don't care if you're a billionaire. I don't care if you a homeless person. I'm here with you. And, even like the homeless guy down the street at the 7-Eleven, he asked, like, what I mean? I really don't carry cash.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I ask him sometimes, hey, do you want something to eat?
Mm-hmm.
I can get you something to eat. I'm about to go in here. But I don't carry cash. And I treat everybody the same. Because you never know. You know what I mean? You could be talking to a billionaire that looks like a bum,
but don't care because they know they really had the money.
Yeah, and that's why I always seen, like, I'm like, why these people's shoes be so dirty? They don't care that you see their house, and I'll be like, oh,
that's why.
Okay,
that's why. First class.
Yep, first class, dirty shoes. See me walking past you in coach. They're like, hey, how you doing? But yeah, I treat everybody the same. I try to teach my daughters that as well. Like, just because they don't have it, don't make fun of them, nothing like that. Because I remember, you know what I mean, that wasn't like, me, like, I was middle class, lower middle class, but I ain't have everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, you see everybody else with all the Jordans. I might have one pair, two pair, or whatever, Nikes or whatever. I just look at it, and I learned that too. Like, so out here, everybody wears New Balances. In Detroit, you would get clowned for wearing New Balances.
Really?
Yeah, but not everybody's wearing them back home. And I'm like,
so they phony.
Yeah, like, y'all was getting on us when we was kids with these New Balances, but not everybody's wearing them now.
So what's the style in Detroit?
Air Force Ones.
Wow.
Yeah, Forces. Air Force Ones. Of course, Jordans.
Yeah, Jordan.
Like, I wear Vans because I was stationed in California, and I love culture. Yeah, so I embrace the culture, and if I like the shoe, I'm gonna wear it. Yeah, like, I'm me. Like, I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And I always loved skateboarding. I just couldn't skateboard. So, yeah, I was like, I ain't about to hurt myself. So, yeah, it's just Air Force Ones is the main shoe back home. We wear Sauconys. We used to wear Sauconys back then.
Y'all don't wear Pumas, do y'all?
No, we never wore Pumas like that. They do now.
Oh, so now, because Pumas are in style here.
Yeah. So, like, I know, like, the 990s that's the mecca here. Like, everybody got a pair of V4s, V3s, great all 990s, but then you couldn't wear that. Like, them was like grandpa shoes. You couldn't wear that. But then I worked at Foot Locker, And I was like, man, let me try on these shoes. Why everybody always be gassing these shoes up like that? And I was like, oh.
They're comfortable.
Yeah.
Because everybody's always on the go. They're on the metro. They're on the bus. They got to walk somewhere. That's what I learned, too. Like, we have buses, but we don't have a metro system in Detroit.
You don't?
No.
Oh.
Here, New York,
Yeah,
Chicago, and I believe LA are the only ones that have like a train system.
Wow, I didn't know that. I've never been to Detroit. I would like to go to Detroit.
You'll love it.
You'll love it. We've been a lot of places, beautiful. But
you'll love it. Just go. If you don't like the cold, don't go now.
Oh no. Mm-mm.
But if you like summertime, it's humid. It's humid like anywhere else.
Okay.
Beautiful. But yeah. Before we get out of here, I want to do my thing I always do. It's called gym class. Not GYM, GEM. What gym can you leave a young woman, a young adult, a young person, young human being? What gym can you leave them to carry them, to add to their toolbox?
You touched on it earlier about seasons. Just persevere through your season. If it's a rough season right now, keep going through it. Because seasons do change.
Yeah, I like that. I do too. I love my sister. I call her the principal. That's my nickname for her.
The principal?
Mm-hmm. My nickname for her. I would say stay true to yourself. It's okay to get inspiration from other people, but don't be so inspired that you're mimicking them, you're copying them, you're intentionally trying to be them. God created you to be yourself, so be yourself.
Stay true to yourself. Persevere through the seasons. Keep it going. Anything else y'all wanna tell everybody? Where can they reach you? At the Fisher Girls?
Yep, at the Fisher Girls. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube under the Fisher Girls also. But
website, you can email us for bookings.
Yep. So the Fisher Girls. Look us up, Facebook, Instagram, and please purchase our new song, I Can Go Home.
Yes. And the Fisher Girls email is fishergirls2@gmail.com.
Yes, for booking.
fishergirls2@gmail.com.
Yes.
And like that, we gone.
Thank you for having us.
No problem.